Basement under the back part of the house, NOFD and family members say, but the cause won't be known for some time.
It's a painstaking process to dig through and get to where you have the point of origin, is what we call it, so where the fire exactly started, and then the evidence has to match up to that.
Nearly 80 firefighters were called to the scene at St. Charles and 3rd. That was nearly one half of the NOFD manpower working at the time.
I've never seen this much equipment at a fire, or maybe I have, but I mean, this is everything the city owns.
Pierre Hilzim is a longtime friend of the family. He couldn't believe what he was seeing as flames covered every inch of the home's second floor.
Look at the color, okay? The color's going towards blue. It's hot.
Firefighters had two problems with this blaze: the way the home was built in 1888, a time with no fire code, and a delayed 911 call this morning. How long was it burning, do you think, before the first call came into you guys?
It's real hard to tell. If you're out here early enough, you saw the firefighters were over this place like ants.
But for as bad as the home looked, McConnell was hopeful it could be saved now that the worst was over.
I certainly think, given the historic value of this house, if the owners have the wherewithal, the insurance, I certainly would think it's worth saving.
And so that was the fire chief earlier today. Now, again, you heard him at the top of the show. It's going to be the work to try to put out hot spots right now. The NOFD will be out here at least 24, 48 hours, if not a little bit longer. The main concern now is any possible collapse. That's the latest from here on St. Charles at 3rd. I'm Danny Montgomery, reporting live, Eyewitness News.
Danny, thank you. About 2 miles away at New Orleans City Hall, the St. Charles Mansion fire is blamed for an emergency evacuation. At the time, the wind was blowing from the fire towards City Hall, and the mayor's office says someone inside smelled smoke and pulled a fire alarm. The evacuation lasted for about a half an hour, and everyone was able to return to work by about 11 o'clock this morning. As you saw earlier, that fire is still smoldering, and the strong winds may have helped that fire grow. Joining us now is your local weather expert, Chief Meteorologist Carl Arredondo. So, Carl, explain what's happening with the winds now and what was happening earlier.
Well, the winds were much stronger earlier today, and we had more of a west wind, so that was pushing the smoke towards the city. Now the winds are a little different, and they're lighter, coming from a different direction. But earlier today, they were gusting into the mid-20 range. As you take a look at WeatherLink 4, this is our live conditions from our Newman High School in the uptown area, and the winds were gusting at 26, so there were strong gusts earlier today. Now out of the north at 4 miles per hour. So is there any smoke still coming out? It's going to be blown towards the river and towards the West Bank. But again, the winds are much lighter right now. And we have some rain moving over the area right now. As you can see with Doppler radar, some light rain going across that area from Louisa along St. Charles Avenue. And there's more rain coming on in. You can see there's a batch of some rain coming across Jefferson Parish into Orleans Parish, and still a broken line extending to eastern Orleans and to the Mississippi coastal areas. So we'll continue with a chance of rain this evening. Coming up in your local weather expert forecast, we're going to talk more about that chance of rain as we go through the parade weekend. All right, Carl. With more than 80 New Orleans firefighters responding to the scene on St. Charles, the NOFD reached out for backup from all these surrounding fire departments. Slidell fire officials tweeted that they sent a crew to cover the